This is the reaction and discussion of the final episode of RWBY Ice Queendom, or episode 12, and the reaction is now going to commence. Okay, you're writing a letter. I believe you could just send a message. Currently, do they have the internet? I mean, not exactly, but they do have global communication. Yeah, I don't know. So, I am kind of confused on why didn't we just finish things on episode 11? She didn't save you? Wow, really? Really, Wise? You're not even gonna give... I mean, I guess she wasn't the only one that saved you. Teamwork. Power of teamwork. Best day ever? Okay. Best day ever, eh? That's eternally worrying title. So, are we seriously gonna have a whole episode which is just conclusion, no setup, no nothing? What? Unanticipated ways. Yep. Okay. Interesting. Interesting thing they're saying. Wow. Wow, Nora, thank you. Ow, ow, ow. I mean, about you, actually, no, you did see Team Juniper save Jean. Yeah, I guess you do have experience with both teams. Are we gonna set up anything else? So, Shion is saying that the semblance evolved to that extent? What? I'm worried. Why those two in particular? Very odd. Why Blake? Oh. So RWBY didn't notice her eyes? Convenient. I mean, honestly, she doesn't remember anything. It makes sense. The first time she used it also didn't. That was totally the power of friendship. That's so. This talk I expected. The other one I'm shocked about. Also, interesting that the nightmares apparently are attracted to strong individuals, but okay, no, it doesn't matter. I'll talk about it later. I remember this conversation. Why is this here? I do remember this exact conversation. Why? Wait, what leads to... What happens next? Yeah, they are. True. True as well. Well, but that's kind of... Wait, did this happen? Yep. Sure. Sure, Blake. Ooh. This is fun. I definitely would like season 2, but hey. If we do it next season though, please, I don't want any more time skipping. We either do the entire redo of a season or series or whatever, or we just go in a completely different direction. Because honestly the show was better whenever it switched gears. Okay, doesn't matter. I can talk about it in the discussion. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you. Not season, but volume 9 is not coming out till 2023, right? Yep, probably. That's great. That's great to think about. So great. Okay. Okay. I like this, but are we setting up something for season 2 or are we just concluding everything? Everyone just, I guess, loves being at this location. I mean, it makes sense. I don't know why I'm criticizing that. By the way, how much younger is RWBY than the others? I think it's only 2 years, right? I'm not delusional in that. Sure you will. Sure you will. Oh? Of course we're not gonna see that, right? Okay. Yep. Thank you for the cheerleading. Sure. Is he? Setting up a lot of things that are probably not gonna matter in this, right? Because no season 2. What's up with all the eye shots in this episode? Best day ever active. That's so RWBY. Okay, we got a time skip, I guess. No, this is not the food fight. Wait, that was a melon. Oh wait, is the food fight actually happening? Yeah? Yep. Oh, thank you, Pira. Okay. Okay, I'm excited. Come on, please. Oh my goodness, we're actually gonna have it? Oh my goodness, all the melons. Okay. We're doing a redo of that. That's awesome. Oh, poor Sean. Oh my goodness, the swordfish, no! I mean, they can kill each other, frankly, with food. But I really would love a deeper explanation of how... Okay, Ninja. But I would really love a deeper explanation of how aura works. I know you can boost objects with aura. Alright, doesn't matter. Yeah, everything. Everything is so interesting. Ooh. Okay, are we gonna be ending it with the same way? Okay. This is some cool visuals. It's nice, but I don't think we're getting a season 2. Okay, we didn't get the complete fight, sadly. I mean, I had fun. Honestly, it was just like... Here's the issue. It's a good finale, but it was just the finale. It was just a continuation of the story. Pretty much I've watched this episode. There were some interesting differences. I liked it. I don't think we're gonna get a complete retelling of RWBY in this style, though I would love it. Personally, I enjoy it. Even in its bad moments, I prefer this style of animation and them using CGI from time to time, but What it is? What it is? It is what it is. There we go. Just I don't know. I personally really would love to see a season two. I mean, it won't be a season two because it shouldn't be called RWBY Ice Queendom. But I wonder whether it would make sense to do something like that where they do a couple of days, but they just do it with. I mean, I think I said it with each girl, and it's in specific events that happen between volumes, so on and so forth. And they change certain aspects of the story, but I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. There is a what they can do, but hey, I think I should treat it as this is it, one and done. And as a cool little thing, I liked it. I would have liked if it is precisely one and done. I personally would have hoped for a slightly better animation throughout the entirety, but otherwise, I'm perfectly satisfied with pretty much everything. We got a cool new Grim, and excluding the. Honestly, I think the beginning definitely is the worst part of the series overall. Honestly, I just think the very beginning definitely struggled, where the second and third episode were, sadly enough, very unfortunate, even though they did have good animation, very good animation in specific moments. I just think that they would have done better if they simply started from the nightmare part of the series, or if they just completely adapted a volume or two. Because I think if they just completely adapted the volume and did the changes they did, I think this could have done incredible. I really do think so. Sadly enough, I think it was unable to satisfy anyone completely. I would gladly watch another season, and once again, I don't think it could. I don't think there would be. I don't really see any possibility. I would be shocked and I would be glad. But hey, I enjoyed it, and when it comes to just everything overall, the nightmare, the logic and everything, I accept it because it's a one-off Grim that doesn't really matter. Shion did. There are some mechanical things I would like to mention because I am very excited about that. And I did mention it again with the aura and them using the food as weapons. But I love power systems, and that's why I do love when a power system is explained to me. I just love magical power systems. It's honestly one of my favorite parts of any story. It can have horrible characters that I couldn't care less about, but as long as the power system is interesting, and pretty much just the world, I would gladly watch it. Because I put a lot of value in the world that the characters are placed in. That's why I really would love if RWBY can take more time to develop its world, not just its characters. But hey, I mean, honestly, RWBY needs a lot more time to develop a lot of things, in personal opinion, when it comes to the main show. Even though we're in volume, I believe 8 and now 9, I feel like so many people are saying that it should be over soon. We should be done in 12 volumes, and I feel like, but there's so much that can be explained. There's so much potential in the story. Anyway, I'm just getting distracted here. Point is, I want more. I want to understand this world more, and I want to appreciate it more. And some interesting things that were mentioned in this episode specifically and throughout the series were that just the mechanics of the nightmare. I have to cover them because they were kind of the very important thing. The dream logic didn't make a lot of sense, but at the same time I feel like I'm mostly fine with it. The most intriguing factor was the fact that once you have been taken over by another nightmare, and once you have survived a takeover from a nightmare, you get a lot of buffs. In the case of Jean, he got a cloak that protects him from the nightmares, and the sword. And apparently the sword also had the ability to break RWBY out of a dream, so yeah, just if you, that's the one thing that I feel like they really didn't even try to explain that much, where if you're immune to a nightmare once and then you go into another nightmare, how overpowered you truly are, because it felt like Jean had the opportunity to pretty much solve the entire thing. If he simply had the cloak and the sword the entire time, and he was just slightly better in a fight, I feel like he could have probably solved the entire thing. And maybe not even better in a fight, maybe he just had a better idea of how to use this advantage. Because, yeah, it was ridiculous how useful the sword and the cloak were in the dream. And also there was, just mentioned real quickly, the silver eyes. Yeah, obviously RWBY doesn't remember them. That makes perfect sense to me. It is the first time she used them in the show, or at least the first time we saw it. She didn't remember it either. To me, makes perfect sense. I get it. It honestly doesn't bother me that much. I mean, it's convenient as it's just convenient in general that you do lose consciousness, no, memory after you use that power of the silver eyes. But hey, excluding the Shion conversation, Pretty much this entire episode was just a continuation of normal Ruby, because I feel like I've seen almost every single scene. Not almost that, I mean, I would say about 70% of this episode was in the original Ruby. It was slightly adjusted, but definitely I would say most of it was in original Ruby. I've definitely seen almost every single one of those scenes. But hey, besides the point, it was enjoyable and had good animation, and I want to go back to semblances, aura, so on and so forth. So we did get a demonstration of how overpowered and dangerous aura is, where you can use chickens as insane weapons that can break everything. Or what else was used? A swordfish? Yeah, Weiss was using a swordfish as an actual sword that can probably cut through a... I mean, I don't know whether it... I mean, you know, it can probably cut through stone quite easily. I don't know. Aura is interesting. Once again, really want to be explained a little more. I would really appreciate that. I hope Volume 9 does that, because it has a great opportunity to do it. I personally know of so many ways in which they can expand the world to a ginormous extent in Volume 9. I'm just... I don't know. My expectations of Volume 9 are honestly, sadly enough, kind of unreasonable. They really are. I don't think I'll be satisfied even if I get 70% of everything I want, because, yeah, I just have a lot of expectations on the next volume of RWBY proper, I suppose, right? That's what they should call it, because now there's RWBY Ice Queendom, but hey, anyway. Right, RWBY Ice Queendom, what was I talking about? Nightmare stuff, and aura. Yeah. Shion mentioned the interesting thing of the fact that the semblance of the dream that allows you to do the million things, that allows you to control the string, just that insane semblance that straight up looks like magic. Apparently it wasn't boosted by Ospen, but somehow the interactions with the nightmare have created that unique power and has made it evolve to that incredible extent. Which, okay, I understand that, but the thing is, the semblance needs to evolve so many times, and where did it even start, Shion's semblance? Did it start just from being able to visit someone else's dream? And how would it even get to the string part? I thought maybe they'll do something interesting where they introduce a new type of dust, which is dream dust, or something like that, and maybe that's how it's connected, but I don't know. It's just an interesting thing that Shion said, because I guess... I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be thinking too much about it, but obviously enough to anyone who has watched the actual RWBY show, Shion's semblance does pretty much too many things, to be honest. And the only other evolution that we have seen, I mean, it is a drastic change, but it's still definitely deeply connected to the original source. Anyway, doesn't matter. Point is, Shion's semblance must have developed at least, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. It must have evolved, so it can do so many different things. And at that point, I wonder even more so, what is a semblance? Is it exactly what we know from, I think it was volume 6, where we got the story of the world, or part of it at least? I don't know. But anyway, I really want more on semblances. But the last interesting thing I wanted to mention about the nightmare itself is that apparently the nightmare is drawn to people that have great potential. And the unique thing about that is, Jean was able to survive it precisely because he doesn't know how to control his semblance yet. Or, I mean, yeah, he doesn't, but he doesn't know how to use his aura properly. And it's just, I think he said it was even small precisely because he doesn't even use it that much yet, so on and so forth. But the nightmare apparently saw potential in him. So the nightmare specifically goes after potential, but not the amount of aura you have. I mean, technically no, because Shion said specifically it goes after individuals that do have a lot of aura. How I understand it is that what Jean's doing so far is pretty much he's using way more power than he actually needs whenever he's fighting and using his aura. That's the reason why it seems pathetic and small. He actually has a lot, but he's just not distributing it properly. There we go, I think I said it as well as I wanted. I mean, I guess that's the only explanation. It would make sense, but also how would the... I mean, I guess the nightmare can just sense aura, right? I guess that's one of its properties. Anyway though, it was an interesting little tidbit, which makes me curious whether we'll see the nightmare, because it will be very interesting to see it. And also, if we do see it, is John actually still gonna have the immunity? Same with Weiss, same with Blake, because technically all of them have now been freed from a nightmare, hence all of them should have that buff. I would love to have a longer discussion on the possibilities they can do if they decided to continue this, whether it's a complete adaptation or if they decide to go in a completely different direction. I would be fine with either. But I just don't. I think this is just going to be a one-off, and I'll be happy with it. But hey, if we do get more, I personally would be happy as well. But overall, it was fun. That's all I have to say. It didn't blow me away. I can't say that. I mean, it definitely had moments that I appreciated a lot, and I definitely have enjoyed volumes of RWBY way less than I have enjoyed this. But I wouldn't say it's my favorite piece of RWBY content in general. I guess I need to think about it a little more. But it was just a nice little ending where they got in a food fight, where we got some decent animation from time to time, and where, who knows, maybe in the future we're going to get a slightly different alteration of the story and this can continue. Really not certain. But hey, I've been speaking for way too long and my speech is getting worse by the second. So for now, that's the video there. You can subscribe to my channel there and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did.